Victims and families affected by the Gen Z protests have renewed their calls for justice, accountability and compensation for lives lost and injuries sustained. As the country marked the 62nd Jamhuri Day celebrations, many of those still recovering, along with families who lost loved ones, said the celebrations carry little meaning while justice remains out of reach. Months after the unrest, no compensation has been issued following a High Court decision halting the planned payout. The court ruled that the compensation panel appointed by the president and its framework were unconstitutional and lacked the legal mandate to operate. Citizen TV's Ben Kirui has more.
As Kenyans across the country marked the 62nd Jamhuri Day celebrations, with the President William Ruto leading the national ceremony at Nyayo Stadium.
Not yet! Jamhuri! Not yet! Jamhuri!
Families of those who lost their lives and others who were injured during the Gen Z protest gathered with human rights activists to renew their calls for justice, accountability, and compensation for every life lost and every dream disrupted.
While other Kenyans gather in festivity, we gather in grief. Our children were maimed, tortured, disappeared and killed while bravely advancing the very ideals upon which this day was founded.
Hakuna mali haipo ametusaidia. Tunazika mandugu zetu, tunazika masista zetu, tunazika makoli zetu, baba zetu, kaka zetu, ndugu wadogo wetu. Hakuna mali wametusaidia.
For the families whose loved ones were killed, the pain remains raw and extreme. Parents such as Phoebe Akumu Maina, mother of 15-year-old Kevin Odhiambo, and Caroline Mutisia, mother of Erickson Chalo Mutisia, say the absence of their children is a wound that has not healed months after the unrest.
Kukula ni shida, pressure imenishika na sikukuwa nayo. In fact ni shida sana kwangu, ni shida. Hata natamani tu nikufe.
Sasa ni 1 year na nusu tangu aange. Eric namuonanga kila siku, njoo unajua nimeshika simu yake. Namuonanga kila siku. Na silalangi bila kuona video zake mimi venye alikuwa na dance. Nilikwambia Eric alikuwa anapenda kudance na ndugu yake. Kwa hivyo nikiwaangalia tu nasema Eric angekuwa tu hai.
Survivors who sustained injuries continue to face daily challenges. Dennis Kamau Washira, who lost a leg after being shot, says rebuilding his life has been difficult as he can no longer carry out the work he once did.
Kutoka niliuzi mguu, sijakuwa nikienda hustle venye nilikuwa naenda kwa sababu sini watu wajua kali. And then kazi inakuanga tu kubahatisha. And then sasa unaona sasa uko na mguu mmoja, hadi unaenda kwa mtu kumuomba kazi and then anakuambia like manze haiwezi.
The victims and their families say they will continue pressing for justice, insisting that they will not rest until it is served.
Hata kama justice haiwezi patikana, ng'ang'aneni wale kina Khalid, ng'ang'aneni. At least roho itulie.
Their quest for compensation suffered a setback after the High Court halted the government's planned compensation program. The court ruled that the panel appointed by the president and its framework for compensating victims lacked constitutional backing and legal authority, affirming that the mandate to investigate violations and recommend redress lies with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR. For victims of the protest and their families, this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations carry little meaning. Months after the unrest, they are still waiting for justice and compensation, a process now stalled after legal challenges forced the courts to suspend the compensation plan pending further review. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.